Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Chelsea Dawn Khan. I am so excited to be here with you guys today, testing out some makeup. So for today's video, we're going to be doing kind of like a comparison against two powders, and we'll do a 2-day wear test of it. So the powders are the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. That was so hard to say, but I did it. We made it through. And the second powder is the Jouer Cosmetics Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. So we're going to be doing, one side of my face with the Charlotte and one side with the Jouer, just to get a really good comparison against the two. And I'm gonna do a 2-day wear test comparison because I'm going to use different types of foundation under it for both days. So the first day we're gonna do like a very luminous, dewy, more light coverage base, and then the second day we're going to do a more full coverage matte foundation so that we can really figure out which one works best for which type of base, or is it maybe just one that's the best all around. There are so many ways that this could go, but we are here to figure it all out. I wanted to start just by talking about a few of the claims that each of these make. I'm gonna read directly off of the Sephora website so we can get all the goods. And I also should really say that this video was inspired for me by Tara Lynn. She is amazing. She does such good reviews. I will link her video in the description below. I watched her video. She did a comparison between the two when I was trying to decide which of the two to purchase, and obviously I ended up getting both anyway. The main difference is going to be that her skin type is more dry, whereas mine is extremely oily. So the powder should work differently for both of us, but we are going to test that out and see. And just make sure also you watch her video, especially if you have drier skin. It's definitely going to give you a better idea of how this might work for you. But all credit for this video idea goes to her. For the Charlotte Tilbury, off of the Sephora website, it says an ultra fine setting powder that blurs imperfections and visibly reduces shine. The coverage is medium, the finish is natural, and it says that it's good for all skin types, so normal, dry, combination, and oily. And then the highlighted ingredients in this guy are rose wax and almond oil, which helps to nourish, soften, and moisturize the skin. And light reflecting pearls, which are pearlescent pigments, diffuse light as it hits your face to illuminate the complexion. So what else might you need to know? This breathable microfine powder technology gives you an immaculate complexion that acts like a luxe microfine cashmere veil on top of your skin for a bright, perfecting finish. This product doesn't cake or sit in lines. Rose wax and almond oil hydrate the skin throughout the day and enable the powder to blend on flawlessly while reducing shine. Nourishing actives work to soothe and restore skin, while light reflecting ingredients diffuse light as it hits your face for a luminous complexion and even finish all day. It's perfect if you suffer from an oily T-zone or complexion, or if you want a flawless retouch finish to your makeup. So those are the claims for the Charlotte Tilbury. And then for the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder, again off of the Sephora website, a luxurious demi-matte setting powder that hydrates, smooths, blurs, and perfects for a flawless finish without looking cakey or leaving skin dry. Key ingredients are hyaluronic acid, works by binding and holding onto moisture and to naturally hydrate the skin. Allantoin softens and promotes healthy looking skin, and vitamin E provides antioxidant benefits, helps promote healthy looking skin, and acts as a natural conditioner. And what else you might need to know? Powerful ingredients nurture and hydrate skin while reducing shine, allowing your own beautiful radiance to come through. Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder melts onto skin without caking or settling. Get that one swipe filtered, no makeup look, and throw it in your bag for instant touch-ups throughout the day. I just wanted to break it down a bit further for you guys. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder is $58, and it comes with 0.28 ounces or 8 grams in it. So that comes to a total of $7.25 per gram. And then the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder is $41, and it has 0.21 ounces or 6 grams. So that comes to a total of $6.83 per ounce. So the Jouer one is a slightly better price point if that is something that really matters to you guys. And then just to break it down a bit again, the Charlotte Tilbury comes with 4 shades, and then the Jouer comes with 6 shades. So a bit better shade range on the Jouer as well. So far they're winning for price and shade range. The Charlotte Tilbury says that it smooths the skin, is a microfine powder, brightening, non-cakey, shine reducing, and rose wax and almond oil for hydration. And the Jouer is a demi-matte finish, hydrating, smooths the skin, blurring, flawless finish, non-cakey, non-drying, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin E. So that's kind of the breakdown between the two of them. We can try swatch them as well. So that one right there is the Charlotte. You can see it settling a bit into my fingerprints. And then this one right here is the Jouer. So on the, don't look under my nails, guys. They're such a mess. I'm so sorry. Under the Charlotte one, which is this guy, on the swatch, I was able to pick up more powder on my finger more easily. The Jouer one, I had to press a bit more and it didn't pick up quite as much powder. However, the Jouer one, which is this guy, in the pan felt more silky and more smooth and more glidable. And it's probably because it does have a bit more of those really hydrating ingredients in it. So I'll try and get close up so you guys can see that. The Jouer one, which is this guy, does just look a bit more creamy, but you can see that there's not like a huge difference between the two of them. It's almost more so just the feeling of it when you're swatching on your finger. And when I look at them in person, the Jouer one looks more radiant and a bit more smoothing up close on a fingertip than what the Charlotte one does. It just has like a bit more of a shine to it and a slight bit more of a smoother finish. However, like, I don't think it's enough that you would ever notice on a face. Like, I don't think that you would ever see, let's say you wore one day and then one the other day. I don't think that your friend would ever be like, are you wearing this Charlotte today? Or are you wearing this Jouer today? Because your face looked way smoother the other day. I really don't think that's gonna be the case. Even like right now, I have Charlotte on this half and Jouer on this half. And there's not like really that huge of a difference. The Jouer looks the slightest bit more luminous, the slightest, but I don't think that you would ever, if you didn't know you were looking for it, I don't think you would ever see it, ever. So that is the info on these two little bad boys here. Like I said, we're gonna go into a 2-day comparison wear test now, that we can really see the difference between the two of them. So we will get that started and then I will see you guys at the end of the video. Let's get started on this comparison wear test. Just for reference, today For my foundation, I have the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Tinted Moisturizer. I have this one in the shade Bone. And then I also mixed it with my Huda Beauty Glow Wish, which we all know that I love, in the shade One Fair. And then the only other thing that I have on is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. I have just a bit under my eyes, on the very tip of my nose, and like right around the corners of my nose there where I get a bit red. And this guy I have in the shade 2 Fair. So, and I wanted to just do, you know, like a nice light kind of dewy summer vibe for the skin today. And then next time we'll do more of a full coverage so that we can see how each powder wears on each kind of coverage. And again, my skin is very oily, like very, so it's gonna be interesting. I've obviously worn both of these on their own so far, but I have not worn one half of my face with one and one half with the other yet. So for reference, we're gonna go with this piercing. This guy, everything gets flipped when I film. So my piercing is actually on my left side of my face. We're gonna do the left side of my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush? With the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. And then for the right side of my face, we're going to use the Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. And I really like to just take like a smaller brush and really just pat it under my eye to really set that concealer. And then for the rest of the face, I just use like a fluffier brush and just kind of gently buff it on. But you can also use, if you wanted, you could use a sponge. You could also use like a wet beauty blender, like that type of sponge, or one of the more flat ones. You can basically use anything you like. This is just how I like to do it. So now we're gonna go on the right side, flip my brush over using the opposite side with the Jouer. And I will also show you guys in natural lighting how this looks as well, but let's kind of get up close. So this is with the Charlotte. It is a bit drier of a finish from what I have noticed so far. So you can see like all of my eye wrinkles and creasing. And then this one is with the Jouer. So you can see the finish of it is not quite as dry. Like my fine lines and everything aren't quite as pronounced. And then this is them together. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the rest of the Charlotte to the left and then the rest of the Jouer to the right. And with both of them, I do find that they give like a pretty airbrushed finish. They're very comparable, which is great because it can almost come down to more so like which one is gonna work best for your skin type, if you're dry or oily. So I'm super excited. As you guys probably know already, now we're gonna go in with the Jouer on the right side. As you guys know, we're in like a newer area. This morning when we woke up, they started pouring the, oh, here we go again. They started pouring the cement. Yeah, you pour cement. They started pouring the cement for our garage. So I'm so excited. This means that we'll have a garage for winter, so we won't have to park our cars outside on the street. I just can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing. I seriously sat. Usually when I wake up, I work out while Rex is in the shower getting ready for work, and then like I start my morning after that. This morning I was like, I'm just so curious about how building all this stuff goes. So because I've never lived in a new area before, so I've never seen it. So My mustache is sweating, guys. It's so hot still. It's crazy. It's never been hot like this before for like such an extended period of time. But I've never lived in a new area like this before, so I'm just so curious. I legitimately just, and Rex was like, don't let them see you watching. So I kept peeking through the blinds, like watching every single thing they were doing. It's just so entertaining. Now we have both sides done. I'll get kind of close so you can see. So that's the Charlotte side. And then this is the Jouer side. So on the Charlotte side, in the crack of my nose, you can see it sitting there a bit, but my skin is so oily that within like probably half an hour, that's gonna be gone. But on the Jouer side, you can see that like it's not sitting there quite as bad. It's not caking and creasing quite as much. And then there's both sides together. I will take you guys into some natural lighting as well so you can see, and then we'll do some check-ins throughout the day so we can see how it goes and which one is wearing better with this more dewy type of skin finish. So we will see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so here we are in my bathroom. Bathroom edition again, in full natural lighting. So this side right here is our Charlotte side. And then this side is our Jouer side. So you can see, I'll try to get close up on that eye situation too. So you can see in natural lighting, like so far, they look pretty similar. The time also is 10:56 in the AM, just so you guys know, so we can watch that. You can see like now it does look a lot more airbrushed. You can see like a bit of my redness still peeking through, but that's because we have a very light coverage foundation day happening. But it just leaves me looking like nice and, you know, lit from within. And it looks like I drink my full daily amount of water. So far, I'm really happy with both sides, thankfully. And we will check back in a bit, guys. We are back for our midday check-in. It is 3:08 now, so we're just over the 4-hour time mark. So you can see I am getting like a bit luminous looking, a bit on the oily side, but that's super normal for me because I did use like a dewy luminous foundation and we're midway through the day. But so far, this is the Charlotte side. So I'll show you around my nose there. It's still holding up pretty good. And then just a close up on my eye. I have like a tiny bit of creasing right in there, if you can see, but that as well is super normal for me. And then here we have the Jouer side. So in my nose, that held up pretty good too. And just looking very, looks like a healthy glow. Everything always looks more oily on camera. And on my eye, there's a bit of creasing in there as well. And then there's a look at my forehead and my chin. Oh, look at my little hair. I gotta tweeze that guy out. But so far so good. I'm really impressed with both sides. I do think that potentially the Jouer side looks a bit more oily than the Charlotte side, but that does make sense because it is a more hydrating formula and there's more of like those like skin loving ingredients that are really gonna help to give moisture to your skin in them. We are back. The time is now 7:13. So it's been just over 8 hours. I did have some errands to go run today, so it was like an active day. It's still killer hot in Edmonton. So like I'm sure you can see, I've been sweating. And I did get Rex to really inspect my face and give me his opinion on both sides. So here we go with it. For my Jouer side, he said up close in person, the difference that he notices is that the bottom of my face almost looks like the makeup is gone. And under my eyes, you can see my blue veins starting to come out more. And then on the Charlotte Tilbury side, he said that it still looks like I have a full face of makeup and that it's all still intact and you can't really see the veins under my eyes. And as far as amount of shine or anything like that, he did say that it looks evenly shiny on both sides. So I know that I was not touching my face today, so is it actually just that the coverage on the Charlotte side lasts better? And maybe the Jouer, because it is a more hydrating powder, allowed my oils to break down the makeup a bit more? That could very well be, especially because like my veins are coming through. So what I have noticed when I looked in the mirror when he said it, I'm so shiny. So on this, the Jouer side, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but when I looked in the mirror, you could definitely see the blue veins a tiny bit. And under my eyes, in here, you can really see where the makeup has worn off from creasing, which is normal. However, oh, and I should also state that I did not blot my face at all today. On the Charlotte Tilbury side, the makeup is gone a bit there as well. However, in person, when you look in the mirror, even here on camera, you can see on this side, it is a bit more. And it's just, I think, because of that hydrating formula. I'll give you a close-up of this cheek as well. So this is the Jouer side, and then forehead. And then this is the Charlotte Tilbury side. And it does actually even look like potentially, I popped just a bit of blush on today. It does look like the blush has lasted a bit better on the Charlotte Tilbury side as well. So, I mean, for myself, I never expect huge, crazy miracles out of my makeup if I am going for like a luminous, dewy finish because I'm oily as fuck. But we are gonna do this whole wear test comparison all over again using my NARS matte foundation. We'll do that tomorrow, and then we will see how it differs with a fully different kind of foundation sitting underneath of them. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. Here we go for day 2 of this comparison wear test. I have the NARS matte foundation on today, so totally different base than day 1. Way more full coverage, obviously more matte because it's the matte one. We're gonna do the same as last time. So Charlotte on this side with my piercing so that we can remember, and then Jouer on the other. So I'm also going to go in with my damp beauty blender for under the eyes today because last time we did a brush, so we'll see the comparison between that as well. So we're gonna start with the Charlotte, and then I'm just gonna flip that beauty blender around, and we're gonna go in with the Jouer on the right side of my face. I did also notice, you guys, that the Jouer one on the damp beauty blender picked up way easier and applied way more than the Charlotte Tilbury one did. So just note that. Now we'll just go in and quickly powder the rest of my face. Oh, and I forgot to say as well, the concealer I used again today was the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away concealer. So same as last video too, just so that we're doing like even comparisons. Okay, so now on to the right side with the Jouer. So I do notice often, like my skin is super, super, super oily, but sometimes when I do wear a matte foundation, like you can see already, even just in like these little creases by my mouth, it will get like quite dry and just around my nose as well, and everything will just start to cling a bit more in there. So it's going to be really interesting with these powders to see if the Jouer side gives a nicer finish for that, because in that case it's really amazing to have both of these powders then for different types of days, whatever it is that you're going for. We have got this on now. I have a few things that I have to go do for the day, but I will definitely do my check-ins like last time, so we will see you guys in a bit. So I was just putting some bronzer on and I realized I forgot to do a close-up for you guys, so, and a time as well. So this powder has been on since 10:30 in the morning, so we're like 15 minutes after that now. So I'm gonna give you the close-up. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury side. You can see it is quite dry. These close-ups are terrifying, guys. And in the nose, that's how it looks. Say hello to all my pores. And then this side is the Jouer side. So it doesn't look quite as dry. And then in there and the side of my nose as well. So I haven't done any setting spray or anything like that, so it's looking extra kind of cakey powdery right now. If I set it, it wouldn't be quite as intense, but I really just wanted to leave it and let it do its magic today and see how that goes. We are now at the 5-hour mark of this wear test with the matte foundation. So let's take a close-up look at the Charlotte side. And I should say we're in natural lighting, so you can see that like with my oils, it's all kind of married together nicely. You can't see near as much creasing in here or around my nose. Under my eyes looks really good. There's not really any pieces where it's creased completely off like it did with the dewier base. So everything's set really nicely. And then this side is the Jouer side. So again, all these little fine lines are looking a lot better, and my nose is. There's not really anything too bad under there, a slight bit, so it's a slight bit more creased than the Charlotte side. But there is your close-up look of it. So looking at the two sides, they're so similar again. I would say the Jouer side is the slightest bit more luminous looking at this point, which is kind of nice, but also it means by the like 8-9 hour mark, it's probably gonna look quite a bit more oily, but they're very comparable. I really think it's gonna come down to what skin type you are on these two, and also what kind of finish you're looking for in your powder and your foundation. So yeah, guys, I am quite impressed so far today with both sides. I have no complaints as of the 5-hour mark. We are back for our final check-in. It is 7 p.m. now, so we're almost 9 hours into this wear test. You guys, I'm just, I don't know what to do. So I checked with Rex. I made him look in natural lighting and then also in non-natural lighting and give me his feedback on the two. So he said, and I didn't tell him which either was, not that he would know anyway, but I just wanted to know his legitimate, genuine thoughts. So he said that the left side of my face, which in reality is this side, our Charlotte side, looks more matte. And that the right side, our Jouer side, looks way more shiny. Luminous, dewy, whatever you want to call it. But you can kind of see, like, Charlotte Jouer. There is like a pretty visible difference, which makes 100% sense because the Jouer formula is more hydrating, which is why when you feel it in the pan, it feels more slick, and why, especially on the day when I had the more luminous base, that it didn't just hold up quite as well. So he also said that this side of my face looks like the blush and the bronzer has lasted all day. Whereas this side, he said it looks like it's really starting to wear off and there's not near as much color. And when he looks at me straight on in person, it looks like this side of my face has way more makeup on it as far as like the cheeks. So that makes a lot of sense because on our first day wear test, he said that it looked like the makeup on the bottom of this side of my face had started to disappear. And again, because the Jouer is a more hydrating formula and my skin is already so oily, it just makes sense that that would happen. I'm not saying there's anything bad about it. Like, honestly, both of these powders are legitimately amazing. I don't think that there's a bad pick for it. I just think it really is gonna come down to what you're looking for in a powder, what kind of foundation you're gonna be putting it on top, and you know, what skin type you are. For myself, because I'm a makeup lover, I could very much so see having both of these in my collection and using them for specific purposes. But do I think that that is something that an everyday makeup wearer needs? Even a makeup lover, you don't need that. It's very excessive. But what else he did say is that the eye area on my Charlotte side looks way drier and more cakey, and that the pores on my Charlotte side look much more enhanced and bigger than the Jouer side. So you see, it's really like one thing and then the other thing, and which do you choose to go with, really? So as much as I love that the makeup stays better on the Charlotte side, I also really love if my pores look smaller, because we all know I don't use filters. So what you're seeing is what you're getting. And I have large pores because my skin is oily. I would love for them to look super diffused and for like my under eyes to look a lot more moisturized. I said to him, out of 10, how much drier does this under eye look than this one? He said 8 out of 10, as in like 10 being the worst. That's how much drier it looks on the Charlotte side. So I could very much so see, you know, if you did use both, to use the Jouer under your eyes so that it has like a nice smooth effect, and then use the Charlotte everywhere else. If you're very oily. However, when I look at my eyes close up, so this is my Charlotte one, you can see like in here, just a very small amount that the makeup has like creased in that fold and just slightly started to come off, like so minuscule, but I'll try to get close up so you can see the dryness as well. So you can see like around all my eye area looks very like luminous and dewy, but my actual eye area looks quite dry. Now I did have a bit wear off here, but my left eye typically gets very watery, so that's normal for me. And then on the Jouer side, you can see that the makeup really has started to actually come off in this fold, just like the last wear test. So you can see that's quite a bit more pronounced. However, the under eye area itself does not look as dry and like papery thin as the Charlotte, which is nice. So you see how I'm like, okay, one part of it is amazing, but then the other part is like, this is gonna come off a bit. Like, if I do this, it's quite obvious that the Jouer side has a bit more worn off there. I'm gonna do a close-up of my cheeks so that you can see that as well. So he did also say that like my kind of acne scarring on the Charlotte side looks a bit more intense than on the Jouer side. So I'll show you that. And then in the Charlotte side, in my nose crease, it's not near as bad as this morning, but you can see that it's still quite dry on the side of my mouth here. And again, I didn't use any setting spray just because I really wanted to see what it would do. But then again, on the Jouer side, it still looks dry there as well. And then in the crack of my nose, it is wearing off more because it's that more hydrating. And then I did try a like hoodie sweater on today over my head, and you can see it wore off on my nose. Super normal for me. However, it wore off a bit more on the Jouer side than the Charlotte side. And there is my chin as well. So, see how I'm in like the dilemma of a lifetime of like which powder do you choose and do you go with, and why I think that for certain areas of your face, one powder could be amazing and then the other could be for the other. Oh my goodness, how is a girl supposed to decide? But the amazing thing is that these are like legitimately two super great powders. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Like, I really don't have anything bad to say with either one of them. It just really, I think if you're drier, maybe go with Jouer. And I think if you're more oily, maybe go with Charlotte. And if you're combo, take your pick. I just am so impressed, legitimately so impressed with both of them. I think they are great value for what you're paying. I don't think you're going to be sad and disappointed with either one. So I'm just really excited to do a review of things that I love and things that I think work great, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I feel at this point that most likely I would use the Charlotte more, especially because over 8 hours on each day, it allowed my actual like face makeup that I put on top of it to last longer and be a bit more vibrant. But then again, when we're in Canada and it's -40 and your skin is kind of like parched a bit, then the Jouer one might be great. So yeah, guys, this may not have been helpful at all. Definitely definitely make sure that you check out Tara Lynn's video. She's amazing. I love her, like love her. And thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me while we play with makeup and just have a lovely time. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, click that bell button, hit all, so that you can be notified every time I upload a video, so that we can hang out a bit more and just have ourselves a nice little time. And like this video if you liked it, because it tells me to create more content like this for you guys. And send a comment below. No, guys, seriously, actually, please really do comment below. If it was you, which powder would you be using? I need help. I need to know. Bye, guys.